Chad, what's going on? KCSN Live here from the global world headquarters of KC Sports Network. Tucker Franklin hanging out with you here for the next hour or so. Let's talk about what we got going on with Chiefs and Titans. Look, I know I saw Ed in the chat. Shout out to Ed. He already said it. I don't remember caring this little about a game. I don't remember caring this little leading up to a Chiefs game. Jackie Moo, welcome in. DT, Charlie, appreciate you guys hanging out. Josh, appreciate you, man. Right now as we're talking, we got an all-time podium day actually at the Chiefs facility. We have an all-time podium day. I see Joshua mentioned it already. Hey, let me fix this focus here real quick. I'm gonna be leading forward, I think, a lot today. There we go. It's trying to focus on the blitz machine, which, like, look, I understand, I get that, but there we go. Okay. All-time podium day. I don't know if you guys have seen the lineup for who is going to be on the podium. I think I quote tweeted it. Yes, I did. Here we go. Let's get this up. This is from Jason Anderson, Sports Radio 810. Love Jason. This is the lineup for today's pressers. Defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo. It's a Thursday, right? So Thursdays we usually have defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo. I gotta fix this. I got a haircut. Apparently my head shrunk when I get a haircut. We usually get Spags on Thursday. Matt Nagy. We get linebacker coach Brennan Daly. Offensive line coach Andy Heck. How about that? Oh, I did miss Dave Tobe up top. Dave Tobe, obviously. I mean, it's coordinator day, right? Thursday's coordinator day, so you usually get these three guys. But you also have wide receiver coach Connor Embry at the podium today. Connor Embry also at the podium today with Chris Jones. Obviously, this stuff is subject to change, but these are the people that we are hearing from. I think Dave Tobe is currently at the podium as we are speaking, according to Mr. Joshua Zylstra. They are putting Connor Embry up on the podium, which is a choice, chat. That's a choice. That's a choice. Appreciate everybody hanging out with me. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's talk about this Chiefs and Titans game, right? Let's talk a little bit about it because I still think there's reasons for you to care, or reasons for you why you should care, right, about this game, or why you should watch it. Maybe not necessarily care, but why you should watch it, all right? Let me lay it out for you. I can remember, this wasn't even that long ago, I can remember a time where we were begging to watch football. We really wanted to watch some football. This was probably like June, early July, and we really wanted some football. And we would say, give me Valdosta State and I would say Ferris State, but Ferris State's a kind of a wagon, and kind of so is Valdosta State. I'm throwing out D2 wagons over here. Just give me high school football. I just need to watch some football. And this is, we would be begging for Chiefs versus Titans in July. If you were served this game in July during a football famine, you would eat it up. So here's the thing. Here's where I'm coming from, chat. Why you should watch this game? Reason number one, I think the most important reason, it's football. It's a football game. It is an NFL football game. That is why I think that what should be the biggest reason to watch this game, because it is a NFL football game. I know Patrick Mahomes is not playing. I saw a guy in the Spotify chat say that he was upset with me saying football game. I found that interesting. Louis says, I'll probably have the game on my tablet in red zone on the big screen just because I'm down. Doesn't mean I don't care. 100%. Like, that's cool. Like, that's fine. Like, I think that's a great setup, Luis. If you don't watch the game, you're a bandwagon, is what Jake says. Jake said it, not me. I might endorse. See, what is that? I might endorse what Jake said. But, like, that makes a good point. Really, I'm really disappointed in this Chiefs season, right? Like, I'm really disappointed in how this Chiefs season has developed. The Patrick Mahomes injury has obviously made it even worse. It's been a nightmare from hell. These games have not been anywhere close to what we expect from Kansas City Chiefs level of football. But it's football. And I can guarantee you in March, I can guarantee you in April, I can guarantee you in May, I can guarantee you in June, and I can guarantee you in July that you would take Chiefs versus Titans 9 times out of 9. You would take Chiefs versus Titans during the months of March, April, May, June, and July. You would take Chiefs Titans 9 times out of 9. Every time you were offered Chiefs Titans, you would take it. Joshua says, I'm watching live, sat in that stadium, and watched Jankowski score more points than the Chiefs. I'm watching no matter what. Levitt says, be a fan of the team in the highs and the lows. 100%. And here's another thing, too, chat. I know you guys are ball knowers here with me, so I know that you guys know this. But I think there's some misnomers and sometimes a lot of things, too, I see on now. See it on Facebook when I post some of my content on Facebook. I gotta make sure everybody sees the content, you know? I gotta make sure I get it out there. I've been posting a little bit more on Facebook. Alright, go follow me on Facebook if you're on Facebook. Tucker Franklin. Go follow me. I share a lot of stuff there now. I'm trying to go to other platforms, right? I'm trying to expand my reach. Ed says gotta treat it like the preseason. Absolutely. But when I post on Facebook and I say that I'm being critical, like I tweet something or I post something being critical about the team, I get called a bandwagon fan sometimes. Like, oh, you're a bandwagoner. Because I'm upset about maybe roster building, or I'm upset about schematics, or I'm upset about decision making. But just because you're upset about how things are going with the team does not mean you're a bandwagon fan. Does not mean that at all. I agree with what Jake said in the chat about being a fan of the team in the highs and the lows. You can still be a fan and still be critical of the team. Everybody fans differently, right? Everybody fans differently. I don't think that we should be so in the trenches about this in terms of, hey, if you're a fan of this team, you have to support every single decision that they make. I would argue that being a fan is not necessarily agreeing with every single decision that they make. My old Facebook cover photos go hard. Oh no, are those public? I thought I made all those private. Shit. I gotta go check now. See cover photos. Oh yeah. They are public, aren't they? HR on line 1 for Tucker. Yeah. No, it's okay. There's nothing bad there. There's nothing bad there. I'm okay with all of those. It's like some when I was playing high school. Yeah, I was playing high school football. There's some when I was coaching baseball, playing baseball. When I was a Derrick Rose fan. When I was a Paul George fan. Man, Derrick Rose. What a dog that Derrick Rose guy was. Anyway, what I was saying, chat, is I think that we need to maybe rethink about how we think of being a fan. And I think maybe not necessarily we rethink about it, but how we shouldn't project how we feel about being a fan of a team onto other people. So for me, I think a part of being a fan is being critical and critically thinking, asking questions. I think that's an important and integral part of being a fan. But because I think that that's an important part of being a fan, that doesn't mean that I need to project that onto, let's say, Ed in the chat. Like, Ed, I'm not going to say that Ed needs to also be critical, and Ed also needs to do the same things and hold the same standards that I do, right? And sometimes I think we see this a lot on social media, and maybe this is a deeper conversation than just with sports, but let's keep it with sports just in general. I think we see that a lot, especially in Chiefs Kingdom, is where we kind of project onto other people. No, Ed's my guy, man. Ed's my guy. Leave Ed alone. We kind of project onto other people, right? So this isn't just obviously in sports, as I mentioned. Like this is a lot of in a lot of other facets here, but we'll stick to sports here, of course. That's the only thing I want to talk about. But if somebody is of the generation, right, where they saw a lot of the Chiefs' struggles, and they are incredibly grateful for what's going on, I understand that. Everyone's incredibly grateful for what's going on, right? Like, that is kind of like an unspoken thing. I think that goes without saying, right? We're all incredibly grateful for what has happened in this Patrick Mahomes era so far. That's kind of like a given, right? So I think sometimes, I talked about this on everything else. I'll probably talk about it. I think I'm going to talk about it on that football show too. I think that there's a rub that we see on social media, I think. Jackie Moon says the rings just make me hungry. That's a great point, because people look at it different ways, right? I think that the best, like, what makes me frustrated is I'm frustrated because of how grateful I am for everything that's happened, right? I'm disappointed because I'm grateful for what the Chiefs have done, if that makes sense. I want them to maximize as much as they can out of this, also in air quotes, window, right? Out of this window that they have with Patrick Mahomes. I think we see some of this happening on both sides of like the issue, right? Of the people who are critical of the front office and the coaching staff, and the people who are like, hey, let's just be grateful for everything that's happened. You can be both. Like you can be both, and that's okay. But just because people are talking about valid critiques of the team, doesn't mean that you need to, if you are somebody who holds we need to be grateful, that doesn't mean you have to project that onto them. Does that make sense? That's kind of something I've been thinking over about as this kind of era of the Chiefs is over. Everyone has their own way of dealing with just like things in general, right? And sports is no different. And everyone has their own way of processing and dissecting and being a fan, right? I know BJ Kissel's talked about this a lot. Of everyone fans differently, That's a simplistic way to say it and a simplistic way to put it. I don't think it's fair for me to project onto Ed what I feel. Because Ed is also a Chiefs fan and I'm a Chiefs fan, we have to feel this same way. That's not fair. That's not fair. And, like, while Jackie and I might agree on some things, right, I shouldn't project to Jackie because Jackie's pretty critical of everything that's going on, right, with the front office, the coaching staff. I shouldn't be able to tell Jackie, well, just be grateful. We'll just be grateful. It's because we're so passionate as fans, is what Ed says. And 100%. That very passionate. Both sides care about the team, right? And I think that kind of gets lost in the sauce here a little bit, but both are coming out of the same place. They're stemming from the same place of we care so much about the team that we're going to be critical about what they're doing and what every action that they make, right? Because we want them to maximize this window to the best of their possibility, so we're going to be critical because we care and because we love this team so much. That's coming from the same spot of, I love this team so much, I'm so grateful for everything that they've done. Those are the same root. Like, that's the same root. It's in the same root ball, right? You ever see the Outdoor Boys videos where the root ball lights a fire by the root ball? That's in the same root. The tree is the same thing. It's the same tree, different root. In the same ball. In the same root ball. Different branches of the root. Same tree. I think that's something to think about as we kind of find ourselves in an interesting spot here, going back and forth between. I'm sure we'll talk about the draft. We'll talk about all kinds of stuff here on this program, but I think I just kind of wanted to get that off my chest a little bit, basically. So appreciate you guys bearing with me on that. KC Chief says the frustrating part is this roster felt like we were still in the window, but the team and staff let us down on paper. Felt better than the last Super Bowl team. I'd agree with that. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you. I appreciate that. There's a lot of nuance in that, and you can't get that over like on Twitter, right? Like I can't make a tweet about that, right? Because I can't get that nuance across in 280 characters or whatever it is. And I'm not writing a paragraph on Twitter. I have the ability to. I'm not doing that. No one's reading that. If I was sent a tweet that I had to click see more, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that, guys. I'm not doing that. So, I appreciate you guys for allowing me to talk about that. So, that's the biggest reason. I know I have to say 5 reasons. One is because you're not a bandwagon Chiefs fan. That's one reason to watch this game. You're not a bandwagon Chiefs fan. 2, it's a football game, and you will be craving NFL football in like 2 months. Hell, give it a month. Not even a month, you'll be craving Chiefs football. Give it 4 weeks, you'll be craving Chiefs football. It's NFL football. You're going to watch it, right? 3, the third reason you should watch. Young guys? Young guys, chat? I think that's a good reason to watch. These youngins. These young bucks. Could get to see old Jeff Bossa. Could get to see all kinds of stuff. Sorry, my phone was going off. People message. I'm getting all kinds of messages in the Only Weird Games chat, lab chat about these press conferences that are going on. So I had to check on that. I got to pull over the there. So what are we at? We're at 3. We're at 3 reasons, chat, of why you should watch the game. Someone tell me why Brashard can't beat Kenneth Gainwell. I don't know, because he's Brashard Smith and he's not Kenneth Gainwell. It's kind of a groovy tune. Jets signed Hendon Hooker to the practice squad. Did you see that? Let's see. Let's see if I got any more. If we have any posts from the podium. No, we really don't. There's like no quotes out there from the podium. People must not be saying anything. These guys must not be talking about anything interesting. Practice squad game on Christmas. I cannot wait. Hey, chat, how funny would it be? I know that we kind of want the Chiefs to lose out for like draft positioning, right? But how funny would it be if the Chiefs practice squad beat the Broncos? I think that would be very funny. Let's make Smith RB1 and Pierce RB2. I mean, hell, at this point, yeah, dude. At this point, throw those guys out there. Give me some Jeff Bossa. I need to see some heavy Jeff Bossa. Chiefs O-line coach Andy Heck on Esapole. Let me pull this tweet up here. We were excited to get Esa here in the first place. He's a talented football player with a good future ahead of him. I love working with him. Hell yeah. Jackie Moon is a Thunder fan. It is hard watching a tanking team, but you just hope for a fun first to third quarter with a loss developing in the fourth. It's great perspective there into that. Great perspective into there. Yeah, we haven't. This is really uncharted territory for us Chiefs fans here recently, you know, and it's hard to like. There's no. I don't really think that there's like tanking in the NFL. Like I don't think that happens. Andy Heck also says he likes how the young guys have gone out there and responded and competed. I made a tweet about this. Let me see. Let me go back to my timeline. I think I made a tweet about this yesterday, about the Chiefs' offensive line. Again, tried and true next-gen stats coming through for us here. Also, guys, Broncos fans are so dumb. Broncos fans are so dumb. I'll tell you about that in a moment. Here's a tweet I made yesterday. The Chiefs have used 11 different O-line combinations for at least 10 snaps this year. That's tied for 6th most in the NFL. The Chargers are tied with the Vikings for one. Because I remember I tweeted this out before Chiefs Chargers, and the Chargers have a lot of snaps with different offensive linemen. Per Next Gen Stats, Kansas City has allowed pressure on more than 42% of its dropbacks in each of its last 2 games, including 52.5% against the Chargers. So obviously having the offensive line mixed around a whole lot in these last 2 games has been tough. Has been tough on the Chiefs. So we'll see if they can get anything going for Mr. Gardner Minshew. We will see. I did say that Broncos fans were dumb. Let's talk about why Broncos fans are dumb. I tweet these next gen stats out because I find them interesting, right? And if you guys follow me on Twitter at Tucker D. Franklin, I tweet these out. Usually pertaining to the Chiefs matchups, but sometimes there's insights that I find really interesting, and I'll just tweet them out. This one I found interesting. Jeffrey Simmons has posted a 14.7% pressure rate this season, the highest among defensive tackles with a minimum of 150 pass rushes. That's per next-gen stats, obviously. He currently leads the NFL with 17 pressures versus double teams and is just 3 away from surpassing his career high of 19 in 2021. This is why I say Broncos fans are dumb. This guy here, I don't know. Actually, I don't even know if he's a Broncos fan. Yeah, he is. It says Broncos in his bio. This isn't true. Zach Allen does. This is about pressure rate, not raw pressures. According to Next Gen Stats, Allen has 1 more pressure raw pressure than Simmons, but Simmons has a 14.7% pressure rate and Allen has a 12% pressure rate. This guy is arguing with Grok. Grok, can you fact check this? Doesn't Zach Allen on the Broncos have a better pressure rate? Grok. Upon reviewing the next-gen stats and recent NFL reports, Jeffrey Simmons does lead defensive tackles in pressure rate at 14.7, minimum 150 pressures. Zach Allen has excelled with the most pressures among defensive tackles in some data, but his rate is lower, and he's primarily classified as a DM. This guy is arguing with Grok in my replies. He's arguing with a robot. So you're changing your answer from a few minutes ago? This is from PFF, clearly. So this guy's, number one, this guy's stupid. Number two, he's arguing with a robot. And he doesn't see that, like, the source is different. Apologies for the confusion. My earlier response had incorrect data. Based on PFF stats for 2025, Jeffrey Simmons leads defensive tackles with 14.6% pressure rate, 55 pressures on 360 sacks, and Zach Allen, often a DE playing as an interior, has 12.8, 60 pressures on 470 snaps. Simmons edges him in rate, while Allen also leads in totals due to more snaps. Then this guy decides to come back. Oh yeah, the robot is also an idiot. Like this is like two idiots fighting. The robot is designed to tell you what you want to hear. I think that pressure rate is probably better than pressures, raw pressures, Jackie. Where do we leave off? Oh, I'm still seeing a lot of sources saying your original number of 180 pressures. Thanks for pointing that out. The 180 pressures figure was an error in my initial response, likely from misinterpreting unverified data. Per latest PFF stats, as of December 17, 2025, Zach Allen has 63 pressures on 470 snaps. Now we're going to PFF. And it's still not Zach Allen. It's still not Zach Allen. It's still Jeffrey Simmons. The rate is still higher. I mean, chat, I don't know, like, these mothers don't read, man. I tweeted this out to, well, yeah, okay, so it just means Simmons doesn't play as much. Yeah, but when he's playing, the rate of a pressure, like, I think raw pressures is more of like, it's like a counting stat, right? But I think, yeah, pressures are not more important than sacks. Bringing the quarterback down and tackling the quarterback is more important. I think that, like, when I know that Simmons doesn't play very much, or like doesn't play as much as like Allen does, so that means he's on a higher rate of, like, when he's on the field, his rate of getting a pressure is higher than when Zach Allen is on the field and getting his rate of pressure. Like, he's going, like, if they played the same amount of snaps, if both of those guys, so take this for instance, okay? 14.7%. If Simmons and Allen played the same amount of snaps, with Simmons' 14.7% pressure rate, they played the same amount of snaps. They play, let's say they play 100 snaps with those guys. Simmons has 14.7. Allen has 12. Simmons would have more total pressures in that same span, right? So that's what I'm like. Even though he, like, I think this negates like opportunity. This negates the rate negates how much you're on the field, right? Because you could lead in pressures, but if you're on the field 500 snaps and another guy has one less pressure than you, but 200 less snaps than you, that guy's way more effective. Pass rush rate is this what I'm talking about? Yeah. Pressure rate is more of an effectivity. Is that a word? A stat to prove how effective you are when you're on the field. Yeah, we're not talking about Pro Football Reference though, Jackie. This is next gen stats. That's the other part. Every single statistics place categorizes pressures differently. If you look at PFF, if you look at Next Gen Stats, if you look at Pro Football Reference, they will all, every single one of them, have a different pressure number. Same thing with snap counts. Same thing with snap counts, though. If you go to PFF, if you go to Pro Football Reference, snap counts are going to be different. I can't remember which ones. I think Pro Football Reference doesn't count penalties, like plays that were negated because of penalty. And PFF counts those plays as snaps. Because they did technically happen. No, you're not being annoying, Jackie. I just want to... You're helping me reiterate or just kind of explain my point a little bit better. That's all. And it's and this is hard too. I know that this is really hard when you talk about pressures and all this. You can't flip-flop between sources, right? If you're going to talk about one source, you have to stick to this one source, right? So like Next Gen Stats, you got to take their snap counts and their pass rush snaps, right? So that's the other part of it too, is like these are, as you can see on the tweet here, minimum 150 pass rushes. So this isn't even snaps, right? So this is pure pass rushing snaps. So it's not based off of total snaps either. So this gets really like entangled. So what I try to do is, like, when I talk about this, you cite your source of where you're getting it from, and you have to stick there with that data. Especially when it comes to pressure rate and anything that's subjective like this. I think it's a good conversation to have. I think that the rate probably is more of like showing your effectiveness when you're on the field. I don't know. I can't remember where George Karlaftis is in rate now. I don't think he's as high as he was, but he's as high once as he ever was. Is that how the song goes? Never mind. Oh, I got to tell you guys about DraftKings. Will you guys allow me to tell you about DraftKings here real quick? Sounds good. Missouri, your moment is finally here because DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is now live in your state. Now you can make every game even more exciting with same-game parlays, money lines, props, and more, all from your phone, all safe, secure, and easy to use. Missouri fans know game day. The tailgates, the noise, the passion. Now with DraftKings Sportsbook, you can bring that same energy to every snap, every touchdown, every win. And right now, new Missouri customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. No waiting, no nonsense, just pure action powered by America's top-rated sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code KCSN. New Missouri customers bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. That's code KCSN. The crown is yours. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, physically present in Missouri. Eligibility and restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. I don't know. To answer your question, Jackie, I don't know why Karlaftis lines up so far back. I don't really know. We were going to do something today, weren't we? I can't remember what we said we were going to do today, chat. Yesterday, we were going to do something. Have I given you 5 reasons to watch this game? One is... I forgot my reasons. Football? It's football. 2... You're not a fake fan. 3, young guys. 4, it's football. And 5, it's football. Bless me. On a positive note, Sunday was my first game at Arrowhead. Shout out, Ed. How was it? How was your first game at Arrowhead, Ed? Arrowhead. Oh, I see what I did there. Arrowhead. Arrowhead. Said it had to be this game, yeah. 3, I think. Yeah, we got to 3. Why else should you watch this game? Other than it's a football game, you get to see young guys, and you're a real fan. You should watch this game because, yeah, the stadium is really cool. I like the Hall of Honor. Charlie, yes, Charlie, shout out. You get, which one should I? Yeah, we'll just give you this one. Shout out, Charlie. Travis Kelce should be the other reason you watch this game. Travis Kelce should be the reason because we only have so many Travis Kelce games left. Gary, welcome in. We only have so many Travis Kelce games left. This is one of potentially only 3 left. So this is why you have to watch. This is why you have to watch, chat. Appreciate all you guys hanging out with me. We're up to 4, right? We're up to 4. 1, you're a real fan. That's why you have to watch this game, because you're a real fan. You're not a bandwagoner. 2, you prayed for times like that. You pray for football games like this in July. 3, young guys. Jeff Bossa, Brashard Smith, Jalen Royals. 13th light, that's Taylor Swift. 4, Travis Kelce. Because we don't know how many more Travis Kelce games we got. 5. Gardner Minshew, right? Gotta watch him sling that ball around the yard. Gotta watch Gardner Minshew and some Minshew mania, some Minshew magic. I think that has to be one of the reasons. You never know what's going to happen with Gardner Minshew at quarterback. And the Titans kind of stink, guys. The Titans are, I don't know if you guys have heard this, the Titans are a really bad football team. They are not good. Could Gardner Minshew dice them up? Do we want Gardner Minshew to dice them up? That's the other question, chat. Do I sound like an airline pilot talking to all of the members of the flight? Jackie Moon says Chiefs will unfortunately win 2 out of 3. It doesn't help that they play the 2 worst it doesn't help that they play 2 of the worst franchises in the National Football League in the last 2. No, Jeffrey Simmons is going to tear out. That's actually a good point, D-Fizz. Welcome in, D-Fizz. That's a good point, D-Fizz. The offensive line is still going to be pretty battered. So, yeah. Jeffrey Simmons is kind of good. I was just talking about how good Jeffrey Simmons is, and they're going to go up against, like, Mike Caliendo. He's gonna go up against maybe Chu Godric. Oh no. I'd love for Caliendo to be benched by Norzad or Hansen. Yeah, sure. Let me see something. If you'll allow me to look at something, chat. I believe Yeah, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. I'm trying to find the, there's the practice report here. Oh, did we talk about this? Did we talk about this, chat? The Chiefs roster moves here about putting Mahomes on the IR. I think this was after. I think this was after the stream yesterday. They put Patrick Mahomes obviously officially on the IR. They signed Zach Pickens to the active roster. That's the defensive tackle. They signed wide receiver Jimmy Holiday to the practice squad. He's been on and off the practice squad all year. We designated Jake Brenningstool and Najee Johnson to return to practice. Those guys have been on IR all year. It's okay. Clyde knows how to pass protect. Oh, good God. Oh, are we going to get a Clyde game? Do we actually see Elijah Mitchell in this game, you think, chat? Take the under for Sunday. I think the over-under is at 37.5, thanks to our friends at DraftKings Sportsbook, which is now live in Missouri. Sign up with code KCSN. Number 5, confirm in your mind how good Mahomes is by seeing all the stuff that he was making up for. I like that, Steven. I like that as number 5. Confirm your priors. Number 5, the 5th reason you should watch this game is so it will show you how much Patrick Mahomes was covering up. I think when we watch this game, chat, we'll say, how in the world did this team ever win 6? How in the world did this team ever win 6? You know that scene from Bull Durham? What's our record? 8-12. How did we ever win 8? It's a miracle. Great scene. The lollygagging scene. Great movie. Love me some Bull Durham. I think when we see that this team, this offense take the field, Steven makes a phenomenal point. This is a great job, Steven. I think this is a great .5 final point for us to make here on the program before we hop off and go into space about this Chiefs-Titans game. I think this is a great point. I think that the reason you should watch this game, the 5th reason you should watch this game, is that it will show you how much Patrick Mahomes was making up for. Because I think if we watch this game, we will think, how in the world did this team win 6 games? How in the world did this team win 6 games? That's a good one. That's a good one there, Steven. Shout out. That's our 5. 1, you're not a bandwagoner. 2, it's football. You'll be wanting Chiefs football in 4 weeks. 3, young guys. 3. 4. What did we just say 4 was? Oh, Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce was 4. You don't know how many more Travis Kelce games you got. 4. Don't know how many Travis Kelce games you got. 5. You can see what Mahomes was covering up for. And it will show you how good Patrick Mahomes is at playing quarterback. There it is. The 5 reasons that you should watch Chiefs vs. Titans. We did it. Oh, Steven, you got a question? Let me pull it up. Steven says, question. How can Sean McVay get a quarterback he signed on a Tuesday to read a play on a Thursday when Andy Reid can't get a running back he signed before the draft ready to play in a game? Oh, Steven, it's because the horse's name was Friday. Horse's name was Friday. Not that it was a question, but all of us here for next year. Yeah, hell yeah, Ed. I agree with you on that. Steven, it's a great question. I don't think it had anything to do with the playbook. It was probably because
Elijah Mitchell's not very good, unfortunately. That's kind of why I think that. We haven't seen it.
I don't think the coaching staff is purposely not playing good players. That's usually the side of things that I like to go on, but like, man, this coaching staff has kind of tested that theory a lot, actually. I like to think that teams play their better players, but I mean, I don't know. I thought the Elijah Mitchell move was kind of one of those. It was like, ooh, we'll see. We'll see. But good question, Steven. Good question, Steven. They also got Pawanya over Pole. I mean, yeah, it's true. I mean, look, I'm telling you, they're putting my theory of coaches always want to coaches play the best players. They're putting that theory to the test, man. This team has put this theory to the test more than any other football team I've ever come across. I don't get it. You gotta be super mega ass to be behind Clyde on the depth chart. Yeah, you're kind of right, Charlie. Kind of do. You guys stoked for the Thursday night football game tonight? Should be a really good game. Seahawks, Rams. Is there any clinching scenarios there? Let me look that up. Let me look up some clinching scenarios for this week. I love me a good clinching scenario. Uh, 2 days ago from No, we'll go to the NFL. I'll go to NFL.com. Entering Week 17 of the 2025 NFL regular season. Okay. Sorry. The Broncos have clinched. The Patriots have not. If they win, they clinch. So if the Patriots win, they clinch the 1 seed, I believe. This is from NFL.com. Wait, here, let me throw this up for you guys to read it. Here, we'll do this, actually. Whoops. Oh my gosh, I have my mouse in front of me and I'm using the trackpad. What a loser. What a jabron. Okay, seemingly everything broke in the Broncos' favor in Week 15. Before Denver's game even kicked off, the Chiefs were officially eliminated from playoff contention, while the Patriots picked up the loss number 3. And by the time their bout with the Green Bay Packers wrapped up, the Broncos had moved one full game clear of New England atop the AFC leaderboard, while becoming the first team in the conference to clinch a postseason berth. They can now lock up the AFC West and the 1 seed this week with a win versus the Chargers and a Chargers loss at the Cowboys. The Broncos can clinch the 1 seed with a win versus the Jaguars and a Chargers loss at the Cowboys, plus a Bills loss to the Browns, plus a Patriots loss at Ravens. And if all that... Oh, no, that's the West. Sorry, the first one was the West. This one is the 1 seed. So, for the 1 seed, the Broncos need they need to beat the Jags, they need the Chargers to lose, the Bills to lose, and the Patriots to lose. And if all that wasn't enough, the Broncos might finally have convinced their detractors to quit griping about their strength of schedule. Second easiest to date. No, I'm still going to complain about that. Speaking of Indy, wait, hang on a second. So New England at Buffalo, Jacksonville. Reasonable clinching scenarios this weekend. However, all three must win and have either the Texans or the Colts lose to cement their spots. Okay. Was that where's the New England at? Okay, so here we go. The Pats are still one win away from securing a spot in this in the AFC playoffs, but they've still only beaten one team that's currently above 500 this season. The lone victory over the Bills occurring in early October, taking down the Ravens, who might not have a winning record, but surely looked like contenders again after blanking the Bengals would help bolster the playoff. The Patriots championship bona fides, even if it doesn't end up ultimately affecting their division credentials. Similar to the in New England, Buffalo have all of reasonable clinching scenarios. However, all three of New England, Buffalo, Jacksonville, LA. Oh wait, no, of Buffalo, Jacksonville, and LA must win and have either the Texans or Colts lose. Considering Houston is hosting the 2-12 Raiders on Sunday, these three near locks will likely be rooting for the 49ers in Indianapolis on Monday night. Damn, that's crazy, Chad. Look at the Chiefs are with the Dolphins, the Bengals, the Jets, the Browns, the Raiders, and the Titans. Ooh. Looks like Eagles win and they're in. Okay, here we go. Here, a few more straightforward clinching scenarios. Seahawks will clinch a berth with a win versus the Rams or a Lions loss versus the Steelers, and the Seahawks are in. The Niners, whoa. That's kind of crazy. I didn't know it would do that. The Niners can clinch a berth with a win at the Colts or a Lions loss versus the Steelers. A Lions loss versus the Steelers does a lot, actually. If the Lions lose to the Steelers, the Seahawks make it, and the Niners automatically make it. But the Bears also need to beat the Packers if they want to make it, and they also need the Lions to lose as well. But the Packers also, if they want to make it, they got to beat the Bears. So there's some interesting playoff clinching scenarios going on. I find those interesting. I don't know if you guys find those interesting. Jacob, off topic, but does KCSN ever have problems with YouTube and ads since you guys have ads in your videos? Usually when that happens, YouTube marks it as includes paid membership. Yes. Did I not mark this video as paid membership? I have to do that on my end. That's not YouTube. I thought I did. That is. It's marked as a paid promotion. I gotta add 2 minutes into the lab and go curious. Really? I have it set up for live streams, not to. I wonder if it's like after the fact though. Maybe the lab. Maybe it's the lab that I forgot to. No, the lab is marked. Let me double check this. I almost feel like with the manage ads slots. Oh yeah, it is. Chat. Okay, chat. I need to show this to you guys. Here's a little like trust tree moment here. Let me show you how YouTube defaults this. Okay. Can I show you guys how YouTube? And then I'm gonna dip out of here. I gotta go grab some lunch, get some work done, schedule some stuff out. You know the job. Let me share this real quick. I want to show you this of like how this is how YouTube defaults to this many ads. I don't think there's any sensitive information on here. I looked at it first. I don't think there is. YouTube defaults to all of this. So a lot of times what I have to do is I let them automatically place the ads, and then I'll go in and I'll delete like 2 and I'll leave 1, right? I'll delete 2, leave 1. Delete 2, leave 1. I mean, like, look how many ads they're putting in, Chad. Like, that's ridiculous. That's 50, and then I'll delete. Whoa, wrong way. Actually, you know what? That's probably fine. Like, that's ridiculous, chat. YouTube, I understand. Is there any quizzes trusts need to be taken? No, I don't think there's any quizzes right now. I don't know why YouTube does that. And when we have it set, like, on the live streams, too, it's, like, set to, like, more like a conservative ad. So, like, it's only going to show you an ad every 18 minutes is what it's set at for, like, when we do live shows like this. But for, like, I've got to go in and, like, when you upload anything, YouTube's, like, default is, like, incredibly aggressive for ads. And like, which like it's good for us, right? Because like if the more ads means that like we get more money, right? But like it's not a good experience. I'd be pissed off if I was watching a video and I got an ad every 2 minutes, you know? If I got an ad a minute 40 seconds in, I'd be annoyed. So Jake says also YouTube made it to where when you skip ads, it only skips one, and then you have to skip through. Yeah, it is annoying. I don't like that. I legit have to watch on my laptop without a block. Yeah, YouTube. That was a recent change that YouTube did. I think it was kind of like towards the beginning of the year, and that's something I've been doing with the videos. Like, and truthfully, I don't catch every one of them. Like, I let YouTube automatically place those ads, but then like I showed you what I do there. Like I go back and I'll delete like 2, right? For every one they place, I delete 2. You know, and I don't want to do it like a minute into the video is crazy. But sometimes like it slips my mind and I forget to change it. So I appreciate you guys, as always, with all that and being understanding. But we will have Only Weird Games live coming up at 4:45. We'll have them live. That'll do it for me this week on KCSN Live. We'll have Joshua Briscoe tomorrow. He will be, him and myself will be on everything else. Have that football show tomorrow. We'll have Only Weird Games tonight. So appreciate you guys hanging out with us still as the Chiefs are playing a game that doesn't really mean anything. But it means a lot to me that you guys are here. Really do appreciate that. So thank you guys. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys on Tuesday.